Have you ever had a day when someone casually asked, "So, what do you do for fun?" And your brain suddenly went completely blank? It happens to everyone. And today, you're going to learn how to talk about your hobbies in a way that feels smooth, friendly, and surprisingly easy.
Before we jump in, answer this quietly in your mind. If you had a one free hour right now, what hobby would you love to do? Hold that answer. Seriously. You'll use it in a moment.
Talking about hobbies is actually one of the fastest ways to sound confident in English. Why? Because when you talk about something you enjoy, your voice becomes warmer, more alive, more you.
Exactly. Hobbies show your energy, your personality, your taste, even your stress level. And after today, you'll know how to describe them naturally, like a real conversation, not a textbook.
Oh, speaking of hobbies, yesterday Emma told David that her painting hobby literally saved her whole afternoon. She said she felt exhausted, but 15 minutes of painting made her feel human again.
And David said his therapy is cooking. Yes, cooking. He said chopping vegetables calms him down. Honestly, I didn't expect that.
You listening right now, think of a hobby that instantly makes you feel better. If nothing comes to mind, don't worry. You might discover one in this lesson.
Let's start with one simple structure. In my free time, I enjoy. That one sentence can transform your English instantly. Try saying it in your head right now.
For example, in my free time, I enjoy reading. Or, in my free time, I enjoy playing music.
And here comes your first little task. What hobby have you always wanted to try but never started? Think about it for 2 seconds. Got it? Tell us in the comments later. Your idea might inspire someone else.
And since we're being honest here, David has a secret hobby he refuses to talk about.
Oh no, not this again. Fine, I'll reveal it at the end. If everyone stays, trust me, you don't want to miss it.
And that right there is why hobbies matter. They open real conversations. When you can talk about your interests clearly, people connect with you immediately.
And by the end of this episode, you'll know how to talk about your hobbies with clarity, confidence, and a warm, natural flow. All right, ready to get into the fun part?
Here's something I want you to imagine. You walk into a new class or meet a new friend, and they ask, "So, what do you enjoy doing?" This moment can feel scary for many learners, but after today, it won't. Because you're about to learn expressions that make your English sound natural and confident.
Yes, and the funny part is, most people do know what they enjoy. They just don't know how to say it in English. So let's fix that. Step by step, with real phrases you can use today.
Let's start with the very friendly, very native expression. I'm really into, for example, I'm really into photography, or I'm really into baking. It's simple, natural, and sounds warm.
Another great one is I enjoy blank because it helps me, like I enjoy swimming because it helps me relax. Or, I enjoy reading because it helps me focus. Try it in your head right now. Go on.
And here's a question for you. Yes, you listening. What hobby helps you feel calm after a long day? Don't answer out loud, just think about it. And if you feel brave, write it in the comments later.
Yesterday, Emma told David that cooking helps her relax because it gives her quiet time from her thoughts. And honestly, that's a great example of how emotion makes your English feel alive.
Speaking of emotion, here's another sentence you'll hear native speakers use all the time. When I have free time, I like to try it. When I have free time, I like to go for a walk. Or when I have free time, I like to draw simple pictures.
Now, check in with yourself. Are you still with us? Good, because the next technique will help you sound more interesting instantly, and it's something many learners forget to do.
Before we move to that, answer this in the comments if you can. What hobby would you love to get better at this year? It could be something small, like cooking one new dish, or something big, like learning guitar.
Your answer might push someone else to try the same hobby. All right, ready? Part 3 is where we add details that make your English sound truly natural.
Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine someone asks, "What do you like to do in your free time?" And instead of giving a short answer, you share something small, simple, and memorable. That's what we're working on today. Making your hobby sound like a tiny story instead of just a word.
Exactly. Because when you say only, I like reading, the conversation stops. But when you add one small detail, just one, suddenly the listener feels more connected to you.
Here's a powerful structure you can use right now. I enjoy, especially when, like, I enjoy reading, especially when it's raining. Or I enjoy walking, especially when the sun is setting.
Think of your hobby, yes, the one you thought of earlier, and add a detail. When does your hobby feel extra good? In the morning? At night? When you're alone? When you're with friends?
And here's another natural pattern. One of my favorite things about is, for example, one of my favorite things about drawing is feeling peaceful. Or one of my favorite things about running is the fresh air.
Emma told David yesterday that one of her favorite things about painting is choosing colors. And David said one of his favorite things about cooking is tasting the food many, many times.
Now let's try something fun, a tiny story. Use this pattern. One time and it made me feel like, one time I tried a new recipe and it made me feel proud. Or one time I biked through a quiet park and it made me feel calm.
Go ahead. Think of your tiny story. It doesn't have to be big. It can be silly. It can even be embarrassing. But small stories make conversations feel human.
And before we move on, answer this in the comments. What tiny moment from your hobby do you still remember? Maybe you laughed. Maybe you felt relaxed. Maybe something funny happened.
Your story might help someone else feel less nervous about speaking English. All right, ready? Part 4 will show you how to turn these little stories into natural conversation flow.
Something funny happened earlier today. I overheard two people talking about their weekend hobbies, and one of them said, "My hobby is cleaning because it makes me feel powerful." And honestly, that tiny sentence reminded how personal and unique hobbies really are. Everyone has their own little world when they talk about what they love.
Exactly. And today we want to help you describe your little world with natural English, the way native speakers do it without even thinking.
One technique native speakers use is adding a feeling sentence. For example, it makes me feel relaxed. It makes me feel excited. It makes me feel creative. These emotion words make your hobby sound alive.
Here's another beautiful pattern. I love blank, especially when I need blank. Like, I love playing guitar, especially when I need quiet time. Or, I love drawing, especially when I need to clear my mind. Simple, personal, emotional.
And you listening right now, think about this. What feeling does your hobby give you? Does it make you feel calm, focused, happy?
Yesterday, Emma told David that her hobby feels 10 times better when she plays soft music in the background. And David said his cooking hobby becomes a small adventure when he tries new ingredients.
See, these tiny descriptions make a simple hobby sound interesting. And here's one more pattern for you. I usually blank when I do my hobby. For example, I usually listen to jazz when I paint. I usually sit outside when I read.
Now let's involve you too. What do you usually do while enjoying your hobby? Drink tea? Listen to music? Sit by a window? These little details make your English feel warm and real.
And here's a fun secret. When you add one tiny detail, people often reply with their own story. It turns a short answer into a conversation. That's the magic.
Before we move to the last part, leave a comment telling us, what feeling does your hobby give you? Relaxed? Happy? Creative? Strong?
Great. Take a breath. Think of a detail. Think of a feeling. Because part 5 will bring everything together and help you speak about your hobbies with confidence and personality. You know, the more we talk about hobbies, the more I realize something important. People shine the most when they talk about what they love. And today, you've learned how to express that shine in English, clearly and naturally.
Exactly. And now that we've reached the final part of day 7, let's take a moment to appreciate how much you've learned. You can talk about your hobbies, add feelings, tell tiny stories, and even describe special moments. That's real progress.
But here's the best part. I want to hear your voice. So let me ask you directly. What hobby makes you feel happiest? Think about it. And if you can, write it in the comments.
And here's another question to help you express more. What small moment from your hobby do you still remember clearly? A moment that made you smile, relax, or even laugh at yourself?
And I'll give you one more just to warm things up. What hobby do you want to improve this year, and why? Sharing even one sentence helps you remember the language better, and it inspires other learners too.
You've heard us talk about Emma and David's hobbies. Emma uses painting as peaceful time, and David feels adventurous when cooking. Now it's your turn to share your world.
And hey, if you feel shy, it's okay. You can write something simple like, in my free time, I enjoy blank because it makes me feel blank. Or one time I blank and it made me feel blank.
Before we close today's lesson, we want to say thank you. Truly, your time matters, and the fact that you're here learning with us means a lot.
If you enjoyed Day 7, make sure to subscribe to Daily English Hour so you don't miss Day 8. And please leave a like. It helps other learners find this lesson.
And don't forget, the comment section is your space to practice. Tell us what hobby you love, what feeling it gives you, and what small moment makes it special.
Great job today. Take a breath, smile a little, and carry your English into the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow with a brand new topic, and it's going to be another good one.
Take care, keep practicing, and keep enjoying the things that make you, you. See you in Day 8.